Introducing first, from the blue corner, weighing in at 61 kilos, trained under Dylan Andrews at the DTV Academy. He's on debut tonight from the Gold Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Daniel the Menace Matheson. And his opponent from the red corner, weighing in at 61.6 kilos, training at the CMBT under Darcy Vendy. He has 2 wins for 0 losses from the Gold Coast. This is John Ravioli. Aiello! And when the action begins, your referee, Phil Cassidy.
Thank you, Tommy G. Just a reminder, it's Tommy G, the MC's first time on the mic. That position usually belongs to someone else. However, it's you that's joining me cage side here this evening. Thank you, Tommy G. Fantastic introductions. It's Matheson versus Aiello. Tanir and Nathan cage side with Blake Richardson. Round 1, here we go.
Already a left hand landing in the stance switching. John Aiello is sharp, as we've seen before.
Had the opportunity of talking to one of Daddy Ravioli's teammates, the God of War, they call him, Odin Musket. I saw him at the Star Casino for State of Origin night last week. He was telling me that John Aiello is well and truly prepared for this. He's been working on his striking, that relentless pressure up against the cage. You can see on screen as it transpires. No one works harder inside the training room, according to the God of War.
Well, that's high praise, because the God of War himself in his last outing, I mean, absolutely incredible fighter. No slouch in terms of the cardio himself and working hard, so that's high praise. And he's showing it here. He's being intelligent, he's being patient, but he is not being complacent against the cage. Is he with the head position? He's driving it, making it very uncomfortable for Matheson.
The Menace, made mention, training at a DTV Academy, alongside his teammates, Jimmy Edwards, Matt Kindness as well. Hopefully see those 2 amateur welterweights back on the eternal scene sooner than later. But again, when you have someone that's fought in the UFC, who's had that experience, you'd think that Daniel Matheson would be taking everything at every training session in his stride, looking to implement that here tonight.
Well, he's done a really good job so far of defending this. He's got the stance nice and wide to nullify him joining his hands. But, oh, nice outside knee knock there from John Aiello. He's doing the right thing, scooting his butt to the cage. He's got to try and get a stiff arm on the back of that head and try and build himself up. Free his leg.
Grounded.
Great head position here from John Aiello. He's gotten high now, has Daddy Ravioli. Looking to creep his hips over the knees of Matheson. He's almost looking to put himself in mount or take the back.
This is John's bread and butter, as we may mention. He'll be getting his work done out at CMBT alongside his teammates, many of whom we've seen at Eternal MMA before. Josh Kuhn, Ty Wall, striking coach Reece Giles as well, and Brenton Mumford. I mean, the list goes on, Blake. CMBT, they're making waves in the MMA scene.
Oh, making waves. They've been making waves since the beginning. And I tell you what, if you keep naming CMBT fighters, we're going to chew the rest of this fight up. You know, the list goes on, as you said. Oh, nice little guillotine here. He's doing the right thing as John Aiello coming around to the back to threaten. Less than 10 seconds.
Championship on the line between Anthony Drulich and Frank Jankowski. October 28th, it all goes down on UFC.
Big left hook over the top, drops Daniel Matheson.
Watch the up kicks, body only.
But the patience and composure from John Aiello. Oh, nice get up there from, oh, but he's in with the double, the hands are locked. And there he comes again.
Down he goes again. John Aiello, 2 from 2 in takedowns in round 2.
We're always seeing improvements. Every time our Eternal fighters step inside the cage, they've always made some adjustments. They've always got some new weapons in the arsenal, and John Aiello is no exception in this case here. the composure to land that left hook and drop him and then take his time and still end up on top. They're doing something right at CMBT, Tim.
They certainly are, Blake.
But Daniel Matheson staying composed again. He got dropped and he's working his way back up. He's not panicking.
Crowd getting behind their man, Ravioli. I think it was maybe 3 of them with that soccer chant there.
3 is all you need, though, when you've got a couple of beers in them and the vocal cords that they seem to have here in the Gold Coast.
We are just getting started here at the Southport Sharks. And as you said, Blake, the level of competition and progression, as we see these guys progress throughout their young amateur, I mean, these guys are still amateurs. As they progress from fight to fight, they seem to be getting better. You've got to give credit to the standard of MMA here in Australia. It's just getting higher and higher.
It is. It just makes it that much more difficult for those people who are MMA fans and think, you know what, I could get in there and give it a go. You've got to come to Eternal Sick Cage side. These people are for real.
They are indeed, and Eternal MMA at the forefront of what seems to be the next wave of talent from both the amateur and professional ranks in the Southern Hemisphere. Speaking of our professional ranks, later on tonight, Eternal 77 main event, Dave Martinez versus Kieran Joblin. The Smiling Assassin taking on the Stonecutter, returning to the cage after 5 years. The first time I saw Kieran Joblin back at Eternal 32 against Brenton Mumford. He was victorious on that occasion, looking to be victorious against the former 2-time Eternal lightweight champion in Dave Martinez.
5 years on, 5 years off rather, is a long time, T, as you mentioned, but with an extensive record of 24 wins and 13 losses, I mean, how much could ring rust be if it be a factor? Cage rust, if you want to get technical.
We are getting technical here. Make sure you tune into that one later on here this evening. Go on over to UFCFightPass.com and sign up to see our main event here at the Southport Sharks as we return to the action here, counting down the final 10 seconds. Aiello on top of Matheson. It's been one-way traffic for Daddy Ravioli in round 2. There's over 25 exclusive combat sports organizations from around the globe with live fights every weekend, only on UFC Fight Pass.
A small exchange in the middle to begin, but then John Aiello implementing the same game plan again that's proved so effective through rounds 1 and 2. It's the head position for me, T. I mean, John Aiello's just been impeccable with the head position tonight. Just makes it that much more difficult to get anything off in terms of your grappling defense.
It's more of the same here for John Aiello. No stranger to the grind is Ravioli. And Matheson, there's just not much room for him to move, is there, Blake?
No, not at the moment. I mean, again, relentless head pressure and the double unders, the chaining, the IQ of the grappling of John Aiello. Matheson staying composed, though. He's not panicking. Got him right in front of us here, T. Best seats in the house, as they say.
Yeah, we do indeed have the best seats in the house. And being cage side next to you makes it all the more exciting. John Aiello using that chuck to take the back of Matheson, and this is a great position for Ravioli.
Yeah, he's got that far leg extended. He's compromising the hips, and he's just working his way through. I mean, you see this sometimes when someone's just one step ahead with the grappling. You're doing the right things, but you just seem to be half a second behind there. They're on to the next best position. Matheson doing all the right things, just can't seem to get ahead of the chains. High-level stuff from John Aiello tonight. He's got the one hook and he's going for the next straight away.
He's a bit side on, but he's going to go for it here.
He's turning in, but he's giving himself up to a 3/4 mount. It seems that John doesn't want this to go to the judges' scorecards. I mean, he could play it safe and try and ride it out, but that's not Daddy Ravioli's way.
I certainly would say it's not in his nature. Again, relentless pressure as he uses those hips to control Matheson up against the fence.
Pulling out that hook again, stopping Matheson building that base.
smothering force from Aiello, counting down the final seconds. He'll try and open up here, or will he? No, he'll go down again. 10 seconds left in our third and final round. And this fight will go that distance. Danny Ravioli, what a performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we have a decision. It is a unanimous decision for the red corner.